सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। Today I propose to take a new Prakarana Grantha, very small text titled Manisha Panchakam, written by Adi Shankaracharya. This text consists of 5 verses. That is why it is called Panchakam. Panchakam means that which consists of 5 verses is called Panchakam. But in our book there are 7 verses. First 2 verses are only introduction, the background of these 5 verses, which are written by Shankaracharya. Before entering to the proper text, first I will give you the background to understand this terse 5 verses. This text has to be taken by a teacher to those students, those who have completed Bhagavad Gita Upanishadic teaching. That means those who have gone through the Vedantic teaching systematically for some time. Then these verses are very much relevant, and it serves like a mananam and nididhyasana. This is not a teaching, this is not shravana pradhanam, but it is a manana pradhanam or nididhyasana pradhana prakarana grantha. As a recollection of Vedantic teaching, I recollect the teaching. What is that Vedantic teaching? Vedantic teaching is that in one sentence, if you want to put, Jivatma Paramatma Aikya Jnana is called Vedantic teaching. In nutshell, in a capsule form. Jivatma means I, the individual, the micro level individual, Vyashti. Paramatma, the total at macro level. Both are identical, one and the same, from Atma's standpoint, because Atma is the essential nature. Superficially, Jiva is limited. Jiva, the individual, my body is limited with compared to Ishvara's body. My mind is also limited compared to that Ishvara's mind. My intellect is also limited, parichinnam, with compared to Ishvara's intellect. So from Upadhi standpoint, Jiva, the individual I, Upadhi means body, mind, complex. Body, mind, complex called Upadhi. Upadhi Drishtya, I, the individual, and Ishvara cannot be one and the same. From Upadhi Drishti. From what Drishti, I, the individual, and Paramatma are one and the same when we question from Atma standpoint, from Atma Drishti. That is Chaitanya. To understand this, we often use the example that is ocean and wave and water. Ocean at macro level, wave at micro level. Wave cannot be ocean, ocean cannot be wave from Nama Rupa standpoint. Because wave is small, ocean is big. Waves are coming and going, but ocean is always there. Waves have gradation, but ocean doesn't have gradation. A wave has less pervasiveness, ocean has more pervasiveness. So the superficial differences we can notice when you stand in front of ocean. All these superficial differences, are we noticing or not? Very clearly we are experiencing them. But the essential nature of wave, the essential nature of ocean, if you inquire, you discover that the essential nature is water. The essential nature, the true nature of ocean and wave, both are water only. Water, water, water. That is called essential nature. Wave and ocean only Nama Rupa. They appear Rupa. We utter Nama, wave Nama word, we utter, we pronounce. Ocean name we utter. It is our lip movement. And our experience, ocean experience, wave experience, anubhava of that rupa and utterance of that nama, both are superficial. They are not real. What do you mean by superficial? A superficial thing is that it doesn't have its own existence. Wave doesn't have its own existence other than water. Ocean doesn't have existence other than water. But what we use, what we experience, wave, ocean. Wave, ocean. You don't say how see that water is coming when you stand in front of ocean on Sunday evening. You want to go and enjoy with your family, children. How nice waves are coming. You see how big wave, how small wave. These words you use. But you don't say, see the water you don't say. And you say, see the ocean, how big it is, how vast it is. See the ocean. In the middle of the ocean there are ships, you see. But none of us use the water word. None of us use the word water. In front of standing the ocean, we use the words wave, ocean. And we are enjoying every time, whenever you go and see wherever the ocean waves. Whether you talk about water or not, whether you praise it or not, whether you glorify the water or not, even though you are glorifying the waves, you are talking about the ocean and glorifying the ocean. Really speaking, you are talking about what? Water. You are glorifying about what? Water. You are experiencing what? Water. You are enjoying what? Water. Can you deny this fact? Anyone in this world, can they deny that what I am talking from 8 minutes? Can they deny? Do you require any PhD for this? To go to university, to appreciate the water? All these words is very simple. A common sense. It is just common sense. Of course, by using your sixth sense. So, truth is water. Essential nature is water. Even though I am using the words wave and ocean, really speaking, there is no wave at all, there is no ocean at all. Before waves are coming, there was water. After waves disappear also, there is water. The ocean is also, it was water, it is water, it ever will be water. Is there any difficulty to understand this? Are you having any difficulty in understanding this? How beautiful, how enjoyable, how clear it is. The truth, this is called truth. At example level, this is Drishtanta level. Same way, Vedantic teaching is that, which is talking about the wave-like individual, Jivatma, ocean-like Paramatma, the Ishvara, both are only names. Jivatma compared to a wave. Let us compare for our understanding's sake. Jivatma is compared to a wave like. Paramatma is compared to a ocean. Ocean like Paramatma, wave like Jivatma. We use the word Jivatma in the form of all jivas, different jivas, 84 lakhs of jivas. How many waves are coming in the ocean? Can you count? They are coming and going, You go to your house also and you sleep, but they are coming and going. Now also coming and going. Very near. The ocean is very near for us. The sea is very near. Ocean. Waves are coming and going. Do they stop any time? Never. Continuously, 24 into 7, 360 days. Similarly, Jivatmas are also like waves coming out of Paramatma ocean and disappearing into Paramatma ocean. Waves like Jivatmas emerging out of ocean like Paramatma and staying sometimes, sustaining some time. How much time? Very, very little. Time. Duration is unpredictable. You cannot say this wave will exist this much time. This wave will continue this much time. Can you predict? You appreciate the wave, that's all. Tidal wave, small wave. Its speed, its force, its beauty, you enjoy. But you cannot predict its arrival, its departure. Can you? Until it comes, you do not know. And sometimes you say, this wave will come definitely to me and touch me. It won't come. Many times. Sometimes you feel this wave will not come at all to me, but it will come and hit you and you lose the balance, it goes. But your prediction is always goes wrong, many times. Beautiful example for our life we can. That example you can apply to your life. Therefore, similarly, all jivas, waves like jivas, emerges out. When, what way they emerges out, we do not know. Parents cannot predict their children, either male or female, how they are going to born. They cannot predict until they come out. How long they are going to be also nobody can predict. All the jivas are emerging out from Paramatma ocean. All of them dissolving into ocean like Paramatma. This is what our religion teaches us. We are born from God. After death we all go and merge with God. This is called a religion. It's good. This type of presentation is good. Because we do not know how we are born. We do not know where we are going. Since we do not know, better to have an higher view that is good for our growth. I am born from Bhagavan. Bhagavan is the creator. I am sustained by Bhagavan. I dissolve into Bhagavan. The law is Karanam, Karyam. Ornaments born out of gold, ornaments sustained because of gold, ornament dissolve into gold. Logical, practicable or not? Or Anubhava also like that only? Shruti also support this. Shruti Yukti Anubhava is there. Therefore it is better to understand initial stages. I am born from Bhagavan, God created me, God sustaining me, I dissolve into God, like wave into ocean. For this knowledge, Veda prepares us a lot. To understand this primary education, Above this, there is higher education. LKG, UKG, then preschool, then secondary school, then higher secondary school. Then what? Then post-graduation, graduation, post-graduation, PhD. Vendama, vendama. You want to sit in only primary school? Tell me. You want to sit only in primary school or secondary school or high school? Graduation, post-graduation, PhD. Like that here also, religion, God created the world, God became the world is nothing but God, I am Jivatma, I am merging with Paramatma. All these are all required for understanding the essential nature of that Paramatma and Jivatma. Both are one and the same. That is PhD. What is PhD? Doctor of Philosophy. In that science, Doctor of Philosophy is called PhD, no? Correct? Whatever philosophy they talk, our PhD is superior PhD, not ordinary PhD. Just as you have received the example, extend that to the Ashtanta. I, the wave like the individual self, am none other than the total self, the Paramatma. When you are able to say that one and the same, from which standpoint? Not wave like body mind standpoint, not like ocean, total body mind standpoint of Ishvara, but our both essential nature is what? Tell me, what is that? Jivatma, Paramatma, Ishvara. What is the common name between these two names? Atma. Atma is common. In ocean and wave, what is common? Water is common. This is already known subject only. That's what I said, recollection. Recollecting the teaching for assimilation, clarity. The essential nature is Atma, Chaitanyam, consciousness. So from Atma standpoint, I, the individual, and Paramatma, the God, is one and the same. This is called Vedantic teaching. This is the essential teaching of Vedanta. If you know this, the benefit is Phalashruti. 4 verses of Manisha Panchakam, that is from 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, totally 5 verses only. You have added 2 verses in the beginning, introduction. 1, 2 introductory verses. 3, 4, 5, 6, 4 Mahavakyas. And the 7th verse is Phalashruti. If you understand like this, what you are going to get? Now, are you happy or not by listening from the wave to ocean to Atma? Are you happy or not? That Ananda Prapti Evaha Phalashruti. This Ananda Prapti, this teaching, that Shravanam is giving joy to you or not now? That is called Phala. Sukha Praptihi, Dukkha Nivrittihi. Wave has got birth and death. But water doesn't have birth and death. Water was there, whatever is, whatever will be there. Similarly, Atma, I am free from birth, death. There is no marana bhayam. Body only has got birth. So this knowledge allows us to come out of this fear of death, fear of disease, fear of old age. Body is bound to have old age. I am not the body. Body is bound to have disease. I am free from disease because I am Atma, the essential nature. As water, there is no problem. As wave, it is finite. Correct? Wave has got finitude. It is finite, parichinna. Whether waves are there or not, water always will be there. No problem. That is called intelligent wave. Wave has to understand. Even though I appear as wave, I am at water only. I don't have birth and death, really speaking. Wave has to recognize intelligent wave. Similarly, I, the Jivatma, has to be like intelligent wave. One guru has to come and say, my dear, you are Atma only. That is Vedantic teaching. Jivatma, Paramatma, Aikya Bodhaka Vakyam, Mahavakyam, given in 4 verses. There are hundreds of Mahavakyas. Now you have understood what is Vedantic teaching. In nutshell, if anyone asks, we are going to Vedanta classes, tell me what is Vedantic teaching. Don't give lecture. You ask them to come to class. If at all, because you cannot explain this much, even you explain, you are experts, suppose. You explain, they will argue with you. If they argue, you cannot give answer to them. Because you just repeat like a parrot what Swamini says. But further question they ask, you are tell them, come to class, you will understand. So you can tell them happily, I am learning, but I am very happy that teaching is wonderful, I am learning. This is what the essence. My guru said, if you are interested, you can also learn, everyone can learn. So hundreds of Mahavakyas are there in Upanishads. But for a sample, 4 Mahavakyas, we generally quote. From 4 Vedas, there are 4 Vedas. Can you repeat the names of the 4 Vedas? Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvana Veda. If you utter those Veda words through mouth, all sins will run away. Papa will go away. From Rigveda, the Mahavakya taken is Prajnanam Brahma. Which Upanishad we saw that? Rigveda Upanishad, Aitareya Upanishad. See that we have studied here, but we don't remember. That means we have not done homework and artham. Homework is required. Aitareya Upanishad, we saw that Prajnanam Brahma. This is Rigveda Mahavakya. Then second Mahavakyam, second Veda is what? Yajurveda. So Yajurveda Mahavakyam given in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Aham Brahma Asmi Mahavakyam. Aham Brahma Asmi, I am Brahman. Prajnanam Brahma, consciousness is Brahman. Then third Mahavakya, in third Veda, Samaveda Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad, Tattvamasi. for third Mahavakya. Guru says, you are that. You are that. Third Mahavakya. Then fourth Mahavakya from Atharvana Veda, Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad. We saw that Upanishad also. That is, Ayam Atma Brahma. This self is Brahman. Ayam Atma Brahma. 4 Mahavakyas, sample Mahavakyas given in these verses. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 5th verse, that is in this text 7th verse, because we have taken 2 introductory verses. The final one is Phalasruti. Now this is the total picture of Manisha Pancham. 4 Mahavakyas are given, and Phalasruti, the benefit of that Vakya Jnanam is given. Then what do you mean by Mahavakya? Mahavakya, big sentence. Mahavakya is that Jivatma Paramatma Aikya Bodhaka Vakyam. Jivatma Paramatma Aikya Bodhaka Vakyam. A Vakyam, a statement that which teaches or talks about the oneness of Aikyam, oneness of the individual self and the total self. The Vakyam, the sentence which talks about the oneness of the individual self and the total self. That is called Jivatma Paramatma Aikya Bodhaka Vakyam Mahavakyam. Simple. Prajnanam Brahma, Ayamatma Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi. Maximum 3 words. Prajnanam Brahma, 2 words. Aham Brahmasmi, 3 words. Aham Brahma Asmi. Tattvamasi, how many words? Tat Tvam Asi, 3 words. Ayam Atma Brahma, again 3 words. Vakyam need minimum 2 sentences, 2 words. 2 above. There are 2 words, 3 words, Mahavakyam. My goodness, to understand these 4 Mahavakyams, you have to study minimum 12 years systematically. To understand these 12 to 4 Mahavakyas, you have to study minimum 12 years, not maximum, minimum. That too systematically. And you finally you accomplish that status of mind by understanding and studying 12 years systematically, if not 24 years. You are not studying systematically, properly, regularly, then okay, 24 years, semester, September semester, March semester, like that they write exams, CA. 80,000 people wrote CA exams. Only 33% passed. Again what? Next semester they have to write. Like that, no problem, you can write. That is why Guru untiringly teaching again and again and again. Why we teach Bhagavad Gita 2nd time, 3rd time, you understand? Because semester students will be there all the time. We have to teach. But for those students who have already attended, for them it gets more clarity. If I teach Bhagavad Gita, suppose You are interested, I will teach. Second learning of Bhagavad Gita, third time learning Bhagavad Gita gives more clarity and more clarity. For first time students it is Shravanam. For second time, third time students Bhagavad Gita become a Nididhyasana, Bhagavad Gita study. That is why I am teaching from past 20 years. Other classes I completed Bhagavad Gita 2 times, 3 times. Minimum 2 times. Mailapur class, T Nagar class, Shanai Nagar class, all 2 times. You also want the second time, I will start. Yeah, very good. It is reinforcing. For new students, those who have not started from Dharmakshetra, Kurukshetra, it is a Shravanam for them. Those who have already completed one time thoroughly, that class is important. That can become a Shravanam, Manana Nididhyasana. Anyhow, better to study. It's like a revision, recollection. So, I have completed one course here, Bhagavad Gita. From past 20 years also I am teaching here. Everywhere 20 years only. This place also. And Upanishads we have completed. Nearly 7 Upanishads we have done. And Prakarana Grantha I took Dakshinamurti Stotram. And many other Prakarana Granthas I have taken already here. Many Prakarana Granthas. Now this is another small Prakarana Grantha. So, now let us come to the story part. The story part of this, now Vedantic teaching over, about that foundation. Foundation over. Now I have to build the walls, small walls. Then only roof. A building like a palace. Now foundation stones over. Mahavakyams are ready. But to understand these Mahavakyams, here in this text, Shukaracharya gives a social message also for the society. A message he gives. What is that message? The message based on our sadhanas given by our scriptures. Bhagavan Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita 3rd chapter, Lokesmin vividha nishtha pura prokta mayanadha jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. To understand this highest truth, one has to qualify. How one can qualify? By 2 sadhanas. To attain the highest truth, the knowledge called moksha, liberation, one has to follow 2 sadhanas mainly. What are those 2 sadhanas? Karma yoga and upasana. Karma yoga and jnana yoga. Karma yoga include upasana also. Okay? Karma yoga plus jnana yoga. These are not my words. Lord Krishna said, I have given 2 lifestyles, 2 sadhanas for entire humanity, Karma yoga and Jnana yoga. Now first Karma yoga means what? Karma yoga sadhana means what? Actually, there are 3 steps in Karma yoga. What are they? Satkarmani, Sadgunaha, Sadbhavanaha. Karma yoga sadhana consists of 3 steps for individual harmony and for social harmony. For the contribution of the society and for the self elevating oneself spiritually. These are the two involved in these three steps. Mainly two steps, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga you can come only after finishing Karma Yoga. What do you mean by Karma Yoga? Perform noble actions, Satkarmani. Do good activities, Panchamaha Yajnas, Satkarmani, Puja, Japa, Dhyanam, either Vachika Karma, Kayika Karma or Manasa Karma. Physical activities, verbal activities and mental activities, all must be Satkarmani, noble actions. What do you mean by noble? Good actions. What do you mean by good actions? Right actions. What do you mean by right actions? Right actions means right actions. That is not sufficient. You have to understand right actions, noble actions, good actions are those actions which are good for me also as well as society also. My action should contribute to the society. My action should contribute to me for my spiritual elevation. Amazing design. If you miss this design, that's all. Ippiravi tappinal eppiravi vaikumo antunnavallaya. If you miss this chance, it won't come back. Very, very, very beautiful design given for the purpose and the intention of the Varnashrama Dharma given by Bhagavan. Chatur Varnyam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagashaha, Bhagavan said. For what purpose? The purpose of Varna Dharma, the purpose of Ashrama Dharma, we saw elaborately in Uddhava Gita on Wednesday classes. The purpose of Varna Dharma, Ashrama Dharma meant for social harmony, individual harmony. Understand? But unfortunately, this Varna Dharma, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya has become a notorious what you can call translation, notorious translation, caste system in Hinduism. A caste system, Varna Dharma kept for the purpose, the intention is for material growth as well as spiritual growth. They are not meant for demanding respect. Brahmana should not demand respect. A sannyasi should not demand respect. All of you put garland to me and do pada puja. Sannyasi should not demand. Brahmana should not demand that I am superior Varna, I am greater. Kshatriya should not say I am superior Varna. Vaishya should not say superior Varna. Shudra should not feel I am inferior Varna. No. We should not demand respect, but we can command respect. When can you command respect? When you follow the disciplines, you command respect. Just like our Prime Minister got so many awards, titles, even from Arab countries. Here Muslims are making a lot of noise, but you see all Muslim countries have given such a great, unique awards to our Prime Minister. He never demanded, he commands. Why he commands? his way of talking. What is the secret? What is the greatness? Because he is coming from Bharat. He is coming from Sanatana Dharma. Which Dharma is so unique and which Dharma is so great. That's why they have given awards not to Narendra Modi. Please understand. All that Dubai, UAE and many other countries have given awards not person, the ideology, the dharma, samskriti behind Narendra Modi. The titles goes to that Sanatana Dharma, not to the Prime Minister. Previous Prime Ministers they have not received because they have never presented them as Sanatana Dharmis. That's why they didn't get. They have never used previous Prime Minister Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Which Prime Minister has used the words Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam? Tell me. They have never used the word. But this Prime Minister has used. Vasudha eva, the entire Vyarth is our family, he said. Often I quote this word. We are not connected to any party or person. Fortunately, our Prime Minister, present Prime Minister, is able to quote that quotations from Vedas, Upanishads. That is why he is receiving lot of medals, awards, respected by the entire universe. That is called commanding respect. You can never demand respect, but you command, means you deserve. You deserve it, that award, because your way of anushtana. He goes to Nepal and does puja hours together. He goes to Kedarnath and sit in meditation hours together. And he follows his achara, Navaratri time, fasting, he follows. Vasanta Navaratri's time, Anushtana, he follows. That is why you can command respect when you follow the disciplines, Satkarmani. Then second one is Sadgunaha. May you have the virtues, good virtues, all noble gunas. Amanitvam adamhitvam ahimsa kshantirarjavam abhayam sattva samshuddhi jnana yoga vyavasthitihi. 16th chapter, 13th chapter. So many values are there. Sadgunaha, Daivi Sampat, develop them. Then third one is Sadbhavana. May you have right attitude. Sadbhavanas. Right attitude is the third one. First one is what? Right actions. Noble actions. All your anushtana, achara. All religious practices are right actions. Puja, japa, dhyanam, all anushtana, yoga, abhyasa, and sadgunas, values. May you imbibe values, develop values. Sadbhavanaha, may you have right attitude while doing actions. Ishwararpana buddhya karma kuru, prasada buddhya phalam svikuru. I focus on my duties, I never focus on my rights. I focus on my duties, what I have to do. I offer all my actions to Bhagavan. That's why I gave one talk, life is worship. Every activity, morning to till night, my life is a worship. If I do yoga sadhana, it is a worship. If I eat food, it is a worship. Because I respect this body, Bhagavan's body. I respect the water, trees, etc., etc. My attitude towards the universe is Bhagavan. My attitude towards this body is also Bhagavan. This is called right attitude. All these three put together Karma Yoga. Varna Dharma given only for this Anushtana, not to just claim that I am a superior Varna. No ashrama, sannyas ashrama is superior, grihastha ashrama inferior. No. Every ashrama has its own role. Once you prepare yourself with all this, you come to Jnana Yoga. Grihastha ashrama given meant for Jnana Yoga. Karma Yoga is given for varnas, for sadhanas, to uplift oneself. You should not create any disharmony in the society. Body is not yours, it is Bhagavan's body. You have to take care of your body, elevate yourself spiritually, and take care of your family, society also. Drop selfishness first. But what happened? Those days, because of these varnas are meant for this, purpose is this, intention is this, spiritual upliftment, social contribution through varna and ashrama. But unfortunately, people started looking at inferior varnas. Those days also it was there in Shankaracharya time. Shankaracharya born in Kerala, Nambudri family. And the story runs like this: when he was doing the Paryatanam, he takes bath in Kashi somewhere. After taking bath from Ganga river, he was walking towards the temple. First they take bath in that river and they go to the temple. After doing puja, they go for Bhikshatana. This is the routine every day for sannyasis. They take bath in the river. While he was walking, one Chandala came opposite to him. This story tells there are many different stories are there about Shankaracharya. Stories in the sense his biography. Whether really it happened or not, we are not going into that totally, exactly. There may be little differences per book, other book. But here, one Chandala means the one who kills the dog and eats the dog meat is called Chandala. Fourth caste one, outcast person. Neither Brahmana, Kshatriya, or Vaisya, or Shudra. Lesser than Shudra, the inferior, because he kills the dog and eats the dog. The one who does that is called Chandala. Chandalasya putraha Chandalaha. That Chandala word is used in all these verses. Why? When Shankaracharya saw that person, whether Shankaracharya he himself said directly or his disciples said, whatever it may be, maybe Shankaracharya, and when he took sannyasa in initial stages, he might have uttered that word. We do not know whether his disciple said or he said. Gacha gacha. He says, go away. And that Chandala who is walking, so wearing a lot of rugs, like a dirty dress and all, and looking so dirty, and 4 dogs are walking along with him. 4 dogs. The story tells that Chandala is none other than Shiva comes in that form. He might have recognized that ego, little bit ego in Shankaracharya. I am a Brahmana, Nambudri, Sannyasi. What you need for demanding respect? I am a Brahmana, to Brahmana Sannyasi, I am Nambudris. And the mother, a wee bit of thought may be there in that Shankaracharya. Suppose Lord Shiva, all the way he comes to remove that notions. Chandala is none other than Shiva. He himself came the story tells, the 4 dogs represent 4 Vedas. So this is the story part. Now let us come what this Chandala replied when what Shankaracharya tells. That comes in the first verse. Now let us enter the first verse today. In the page number 6, it comes in your book, that book I have given here, it comes in the 6th page. This is in a this vrittam of the shloka is, we cannot chant like any shloka here. This is called Vishama vrittam. Therefore, we have to chant like a paragraph. Just read after me. Annamayad annamayam athava chaitanyameva chaitanyat dvijavara दूरीकर्तुं वाञ्छसि किं ब्रूहि गच्छ गच्छेति gaccha gaccheti with inverted commas. These are the words uttered by Shankaracharya. Gaccha gaccha, may you go away, go away. Gaccha gaccha, gamudhatu, you go away, you go away. You are uttering these words, gaccha gaccha iti, thus you are uttering. He is a Chandala, that outcast person, asking Shankaracharya, now you are telling me gaccha gaccha. He Dvijavara, Annamayat Annamayam Duri Kartum Vanchasi Athava Chaitanyat Chaitanyam Duri Kartum Vanchasi. Kim Bruhi? Please tell me. Chandala asking Shankaracharya, He Dvijavara, you O Brahmana. Dvijavara means here, Varaha means Sreshtaha, great. The one who is great because of his studies, Vedas, scriptural study, Achara, Vyavahara. That Varna, Brahmin, He Dvijavara. Janmana Jayate Jantuhu Karmana Dvijavuchyate Veda Pathena Viprasyat Brahmanaha Brahma Vedanat. In our slokam, everyone by birth is Janmana Jayate Shudraha, also is there Jantu. Everybody by birth, they are all Shudra, like, because everybody born same way. Karmana Dvija Uchyate, you are a Dvija, twice born when you take Gayatri initiation. Then you are a Dvijaha. That Gayatri initiation, once you put Yajnaopavitam, you are called Dvijaha. Karmana Dvija Uchyate. Then you are a Vipraha when Veda Pathena Viprasyat. You become a Vipra when you study Vedas. There is a difference between Dvija, Vipra and Brahmana. Brahmana Brahma Vedanat. You are a Brahmana when you know Brahman. This story is, sloka tells like that. So here, Dvijavara, Dvija means twice born, and that one who has taken Upanayanam and the one who is doing Anushtanam, great Brahmin, Dvijavara, Brohi. You want to You are asking me the body to go away or Atma to go away. Please tell me first. Then I will go. First clarify that first. Then Shankaracharya says, he won't say anything. Let Chandala complete his question. He completes in the next class. Okay, we'll see that. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namah.